This is amazing. Ever since I was small, younger, I always knew there's something more. And that's the journey that has gotten me here. My question would be, how would you tap into the full potential of the power of now? Because sometimes I feel like I have experience.
Being in alignment with Source.
Yes, with Source. And
'cause you can't avoid now.
Yeah.
There it is again. You can't avoid now, but you do have a choice of being tapped in or not. And so how you do it is by first being aware of what it feels like when you are and what it feels like when you're pinching it off a little bit. And then caring about how you feel and practicing what feels best until you've got the hang of it.
Okay. Because sometimes I feel like I want to slow time down to experience it fully. Is that a lack? To slow it down to feel it more?
Well, one of the things that happens as you play with this more and are more consciously, deliberately finding the vibration that has no wobble in it early on, what happens is as the momentum, that non-resisted momentum, in other words, if there's resistance in momentum, it's this. So there's wobble, 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 and therefore less alignment and less ability to perceive. But when you are in alignment, our friend used the word pure or clean. When you are in alignment, and so there's no wobble in your vibration, what happens is your capacity to explore in the moments in which you are living becomes more. You simply realize more. And when you realize more, all of the moving parts are understood, they're understandable. So there is a greater capacity to savor. Not just because more and more wonderful things are coming. There have been wonderful things around you all along. It's your capacity to connect with them, to feel them, to know them, to understand them, to be them. Esther was walking through the garden in Del Mar the other day and fixated on a plant. Now, it was small. It's a succulent. And it looks a little bit like a cabbage. It's mostly pinks and reds and burgundies. And it was about the size of her hands when it was planted. But it's been there for 2 or 3 years. But it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's right on the edge of the path. It's right there where she first takes her step onto the path that weaves down into the gardens. And so she has seen it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. But the other day, after deliberate alignment, she stepped out and she looked at it and she thought, my God, you are so beautiful. And she just stood there, and the expression, I want to feast my eyes on you, came into her mind. It was like now, there's an ocean out there she could look at. There's a surf that she can see. There are beautiful trees, several olive trees that have been brought in, endless succulents and plants, so much potential for her to enjoy. Feast your eyes, just feasting her eyes on that, receiving so much satisfaction from the particle of the universe that she chose to focus upon. It wasn't its beauty that got her. It was her alignment and her increased capacity to see beauty. You see what we're getting at? It's the increasing your capacity to realize that you're talking about. And that's what alignment does for you. It slows things down. It gives you an opportunity to savor. You don't miss anything. You see those movies where everything goes into slow motion? Slow motion. So that you just have the opportunity to examine it all more. That's what seeing the world through the eyes of Source is like. Your capacity to understand beauty and love and well-being. That's what you're reaching for. That's exactly what you're talking about.